Our next presenters are also from the Kumision Fino CHamoru on Guahan. It's the Gehilu, the chairperson, Ms. Hope Cristobal, and its administrator, Ms. Ana Marie Arceo. Hope Cristobal is the current chairperson of the Commission on the Chamorro language and the teaching of the history and culture of the indigenous people of Guam. That's the Kumision translated into English.
Yeah.
He is a retired educator, a former senator of Guam, legislator, a former adjunct professor of Guam history at the University of Guam. Ms. Cristobal is a Chamorro indigenous rights activist who has presented at national and international forums on the topics of Chamorro self-determination and decolonization. Accompanying Ms. Cristobal is the administrator of I Kumision Fino CHamoru, Mrs. Ana Marie Arceo. Ms. Arceo is the founder of Hurao Incorporated, a total immersion Chamorro language institution on Guahan. She was and continues to be a teacher, interpreter, and translator of the Chamorro language. Welcome, señoras, and you may take it away.
Buenas todos, Samzu. If you notice, we're both wearing our masks because we are in our office in Tijan. And what I'd like to do is to just briefly share the re-establishment of our Kumision Fino CHamoru and Ifinanagwini historias and Ilinala Itautautano. We call it Kumision, which came to be with the introduction at the Guam legislature by former Speaker Judy Wampat and the legislature by Public Law 33-236. It is now actually 5 GCA Chapter 88, if you want to look that up. So one of the first things that the Kumision embarked on is to look at the orthography. And as a result, we took the, as Robert has stated, the 1983 Mariana's orthography, and we tried to find a standard way of linking Alphabetum CHamoru to the sounds of CHamoru, the indigenous language of Guam, as we use it here. And so we adapted to some changes, and we tried to simplify the booklet so that it's easier to use. And so our second publication of Utugrafihan CHamoru Guahan, Guam CHamoru Orthography, occurred in September 2020 after many, many sessions with not only the Kumision board, but with members of our community, especially those who are teachers of the Chamorro language in the Guam public schools. And we get together very often, and we went through each of the rules that have been put together to refine the alphabetu to the sounds that we use in our language, and to try and establish the norms of spelling emphasis, capitalization, the punctuation, the pre and infixes, and other rules for writing purposes, because we feel that when we write, and we write consistently using one standard way, that it would help to continue the use of our written language, and that we would find a way to come together as a people using the same language, spoken language, as well as the written format. So besides the dialectical differences in spoken Chamorro, we find some standard way of consistently and frequently using the orthography to unite us in consideration of our vision and mission. And so once we agreed to all the rules, we, in September took the booklet that we first had, and we tried to work really hard with the linguistic terms that were very difficult for our Chamorro language teachers to break down into using it as a teaching tool. So words like diphthong, for example, the linguistic term diphthong became buebwet. And we have other linguistic terms that we kind of put in regular spoken Chamorro, easier to understand. And so we really simplified without diminishing the rules. And so we think that the booklet that we came out with and we recently printed is more, let's see, more friendly, teacher friendly. And we're hoping that all teachers on Guam will have access to our booklet, which is about 34 pages. And we intend to publish more of this. Our governor has offered to help us out with it. And we hope to be able to deliver this to all Guam public school teachers of Chamorro, as well as private schools. So including our Guam charter schools. So again, that was one of our first major projects of the Kumision. Anne-Marie and I will take turns talking about some of our projects, because really our part of this presentation is our show and tell, which is the easiest part. And hopefully, and I don't see our slides except, yeah, I see I Minatåyan and other signature projects. So if we can move to the next slide, I'd appreciate it. All right, so this basically is what our office looks like. Most of the stuff you see in our office are donated items, and we were able to scrounge around with the help of many volunteers in the community. We were able to set up shop up here at Tijan. Do we have our address? And
we're located in the same facility as the Guahan Charter School Academy, Guahan Academy Charter School. We work in partnership with them right now on this facility. It's Nafa Maulik all together, you know, in the practice every day. And so this is just to show that our offices have been established here in Tizan now. We moved originally from Hagatnya and find our home here now in Tizan. So we move to the next slide.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit. One of the first things that we had to do was set up our website. And so we're going to give you our website address, where you can access most of the materials that we have been working on. And Anne-Marie will give you just a show.
One of the first things that the Kumision set out to do in the 2019 was to establish a website that would give more community access to educational resources. Some of the things that you can find on our website right now as we build it is our Listan Palåbra from Tanana Garcia, which we're updating for this coming year. That's our plan for this coming year. Of course, the updated Utugrafihan, you can find it electronically on our website. And also anything that you want to learn about the Kumision is on there too. Our website address is kumisionchamoru.guam.gov. Next slide, please. And so in support of the orthography that Sina Hope just shared about and all the work that went into updating that, we also created a children's Pictionary called Ineyak Fino CHamoru para Famagu'on. And in this Pictionary we worked with the Department of Education in collaboration with them to establish group of words by subject in this Pictionary and concepts that will aid in learning vocabulary with pictures. Something that our children can grasp and learn, in providing more access to learning CHamoru. These are one of the projects we did, and also a promotional sticker that says CHamoru, spell it right. So whoever wants CHamoru stickers, please contact our office. If you want the sticker, it's visible here in the picture. The new spelling, or not actually new, but the official spelling now, it's not new, but now it's official, is capital C, capital H, A-M-O-R-U. CHamoru.
And we find that the Pictionary is loved by the children, but I just met a few adults the other day who said, can I have one of those? Because I don't know what that word is. And so we find that a lot of adults need a Pictionary as well.
Just as well. Okay.
Okay.
Next slide, please.
Slide. Okay, this is our Sinangan Finamta that we had a grand opening for yesterday. The governor, as well as the speaker and the lieutenant governor were here yesterday, and we cut the ribbon and opened our Sinangan Finamta. Sinangan Finamta actually was established by proclamation with the governor of Guam, our Magahaga Luliang Guerrero, who came up here and told us that she certainly would like to see a Language Revitalization Center. And that was 2 years ago, 2019 in May, when she brought Mr. John Fernandez and ourselves, and we did a presentation, and she said it's definitely something that we're very interested in. And of course, GDOE, one of our main partners in the Kumision, agreed, and we got together, and as well the rest of the Kumision members, and I'd like to really mention the names of our Kumision members, and that the first group, the executive committee, which comprises really our organizational strategists, our Menhalum, Dr. Loling Sauder, and as well Rosa Palomo, who has been with the commission with Robert for many, many years. As well, our administrator, Anne-Marie Arceo, and the rest of our board includes Terry Flores, Terry Conception Flores, who's Fafanagui, University of Guam, been teaching there for a while, designated by the university president, as well as Dr. Robert Underwood, who is also a member of the subcommittee on history at our commission. Si Pali Felix Bertu Leon Guerrero, parish priest at Talufofu, who writes in CHamoru for the Umatuna. We have Jimmy Teria and Rufina Mendiola, both representing the GDOE. As well, we have Melvin Wampat Borja, who represents the Department of CHamoru Affairs, the Guam Museum, the library, CHamoru Village, and other, and the Commission on Decolonization. Did I cover everybody?
Yeah, I think you also Rosa.
Oh, Rosa and Loling and myself are in the executive committee, but our staff will talk a little bit more about them. But I want to talk about the genealogy lab that we are setting up at the Commission. We've decided that we need a space for our community to conduct their own genealogical research. We know there's one at Mark, but we also want to have one that is centered here on the island, where the community can access their records that will take them through at least 4 generations. Right now, at the moment, our Commission's office has the 1920 and 1930 census data. And in addition to these documents, this central space, the staff, our staff at Kumision, may be consulted by people who are going through to access the genealogical information here. So we have a genealogy lab here at the Kumision, And we also, very importantly, part of our Kumision's work, or part of our mandate, is that we also are the Guam Place Names Commission. And being the commission, we have a lot of work to do, and we have a lot of capacity building to do. One of the first things we did is we realized that we need to have a kind of an IRB for this, because we need to develop place naming criteria. And we need to be able to share with the public and private entities this criteria that we're going to be coming up with. We will be sharing it with the mayors and the general public and other government entities. We also realize we need to make available GIS data and other place name resources to the public via a database like ArcGIS Online, which is going to be used by other Government of Guam entities. We are going to, and we plan to produce our own place name maps. And like Lolling has alluded, many of our place names are really connected with our genealogy. Like, for example, for Milianteto, there's a place as Tetu. So that's the place where you go to this family called Tetu. And so you have those like as Libugon, something like that. So we are going to find ways to connect the Guam place name, our indigenous place names, to the families that once lived there. And so we need to also verify the coordinates of those place names. And how do we do that? We are going to be going out and interviewing our Manamcos, our Mañainas, and our village historians on the meaning of some of these place names and learn about our village histories. We find that to be very, very interesting. It gives us an opportunity to connect again with our elders out in the villages, and Robert Underwood has already begun to do that by meeting with the mayor's council, and explaining the project to them. And so he and Rufina Mendiola have already begun this place naming project by going first to our mayors, who are our leaders in the villages. We also see the Place Names Commission as a clearinghouse to ensure that Guam's indigenous place names are acknowledged and the history of place preserved. And so the second phase of this project will be that we're going to be connecting with 13 entities within GovGuam and to access the material resources that are there. And so with the mayors, we will gather, well, we have begun, like I've said, and we already have 28 contacts from the villages, from just 14 of the villages who have responded to our call to re-look and restudy our Guam place names. Our village contacts are our former public officials, our manamcos. Many are hunters, many are veterans, and many of them have lived in those villages for a very long time. Even the village of Sumay, you know, the old people up at Santa Rita sit there when they go to the Senior Citizen Center, and all they can do is look across the way, far away, several miles, to see Sumay. And so that's their connect to Sumay, and they can still talk about the place, the names of the places there in Sumay, before we completely lose sight of Sumay, although it is within the Navy base. And so the second phase of the project is going to be much more oriented to a one-to-one meeting with our villagers. It's going to be difficult. We're going to have to really work on it because of COVID. We found a person by the name of Anthony Figurger at the Mayor's Council, who has agreed to assist us in reaching out to all the elderly. He works for the senior citizen. And so our first thing is we're creating a flyer, we're passing it out during food distribution, and we're trying to make contact with our elders before we lose them. We also are looking to establishing a database, working with other entities to provide accurate GIS data And we look forward to more maps and more place names data that hopefully will come from our research at MARC. And let's see, our 2021 implementation plan includes monthly work sessions to review the criteria that I mentioned earlier of place naming. Many people in Guam do not realize that we should coordinate place naming, and we are going to insist that the Kumision, or rather the Guam Place Names Commission, of which the Kumision operates as, these place names will have to be cleared through the Place Names Commission through perhaps some kind of an IRB process for future references. So with that said, I think I've kind of finished talking about I think it's very exciting part. You can see at the forefront of the photo here, the archives. And then in the center cubicle there is the Guam Place Names Commission. Like I said, we're building capacity. We have a doctoral student by the name of Elisa Santos who's working with us as a program coordinator. And of course, Dr. Francine Naputi is managing, negotiating the genealogical work. It is so exciting, correct, Nina? It is a very exciting project, and that's basically what keeps me working with the Kumision, because I basically only have my passion. I don't have any linguistic background, but I speak, it was my first language. So with Rosa Palomo's help, who is very astute in our orthography, and Terry Concepcion Flores, those two ladies have been able to set us on the correct path of using our not new, but our refined orthography. So si Dusmase for my part, Anne-Marie, take over,
Okay,
please.
dispensa zu Signora Cristobal and Signora Arceo.
Iniisip iora?
Estamattu ora fanan 12 na minutos sobla. Pues malago zu bi nababasti para cuestiones kunu oggi na tautaw gagi gini. Malago po.
Na ano ki otro na slide pwede lamigay na kwestiona?
There is one, there's a question from Jesse Chargaloff. He asks, is an updated dictionary inclusive of the standardized spellings in the works?
Updated dictionary. We have other ways of responding to that, and it's not directly another. As you know, there's at least 13, I believe 17, as in San Vitoris's dictionary, all the way up to the 21st century. We have many dictionaries. So we have embarked on a couple projects. One of them basically is, we're terming it a cultural dictionary, and we're working, it's at its early stages. We are taking, as you know, the Chamorro language is so full of metaphors. So we're taking a lot of these concepts and putting them, and applying the definition or the context by which you use these terms. So we're calling it a cultural resource dictionary. We're working on that as well. But the Listan Palåbra is a main project as well. And we're teaching the orthography online, by the way, through our program called I Minatåyan CHamoru. We are partnered with Guam PBS, and Anne-Marie here is conducting the Minatayan lessons in CHamoru, and so we have a slide for that. But inipus esta 2 minutos, just
Yes. Thank you so much to all of our presenters from the Kumision I CHamoru. This was their opportunity to share interesting aspects of the history that they've learned about the language, the various projects that are happening through the Commission in the community on Guam, and of course, moving toward virtual types of activities that could be available to the different diasporas.